I'm Boaz Ronen, and most of my story is engaged with Shimon Pass, my partner for decades. And I'll tell you, when Eli introduces me from time to time, he had the official version how I met him. But I'm going to reveal today the real story. The official version was that I was a professor a visiting professor at Columbia University in New York at the business school. And one day my boss came and said, "You're an Israeli, right?" And I said, "Yes, no doubt about it." He said, "Okay, so you're going to teach opt because you're in Israel." So it's a good story, but the truth is that back in 1983, 84 in Israel, here in Tel Aviv, some friend of ours came to Shimon and myself and said, "Look, there is some crazy person," in Hebrew it sounds Meshige, in Tel Aviv, in Atidim, and he is developing some very interesting software. You should go and talk to him. And here starts the race after Eli Goldratt. We went there and we couldn't see Eli. He had us talk to Professor Greenfield, I believe.
Oh, yes.
Yes. And it sounds very interesting. And it took us about a year to meet Eli in person. And it was I think it was a breakthrough. For us, it was a breakthrough, but we didn't really understand like 90% of what this person is talking about. And I left for the US. I had a position at NYU, and then I was teaching also at Columbia University. And I called Eli and said, "Look, I must take some official training in OPT, in OPT. It was 1985. And I took I believe, 10 days of OPT, and these 10 days almost changed the way I was thinking, and a lot of things that I felt intuitively was formatted there. And but it wasn't easy to get the 10-day OPT course, because he said you should pay $10,000 for it, right? Here I see Alex Klarman is nodding, and I want to take this opportunity to thank Alex as my first teacher in the theory of constraints, as well as Eli Schwagenheim and Jim Cox. The three of you, except for Eli, really taught me a lot. Until today, when I give an example, I remember whether it was Alex or Eli's or Jim, because I don't have any new things from myself. So he said $10,000. $10,000. My whole salary in the New York area was, I believe, $37,000 a year. And I said, no, I cannot take a mortgage with my daughters as a collateral. It won't go. He said, okay, I'll make you a deal. You write 3 papers on OPT and have this book taught in business schools, because no business school wanted to teach it, because it was a novel. No serious university will teach a novel. And I took this challenge. I took the course. I wrote 3 papers. He got the fame. I got my tenure. And then the problem was how to teach the book. Because we Israelis, if we give our word, it's like written in the stone, you know. And I wasn't asking anybody. I added to the syllabus of the course, taught in 10 different, like in the US, 10 different classes by 10 different professors. Me, number 11, had a book called The Goal. And I got a couple of days later a phone from one of the secretaries, and she said, "Professor Ronen, it's not my fault." What's not my fault? you order a textbook and you got a novel, but I said, that's fine, this is the book. And it was taught at NYU and Columbia. Then I gave a seminar in Harvard University, and I really agree with what guys said. And in Harvard, they teach only case studies. You cannot teach 5 focusing steps. You have to have the students reinvent the 5 focusing steps. It's built on case studies. So I said to my friend, I had the challenge of teaching 3 days in a Socratic way the students of Harvard by case studies. So I took the best case study that I had. It's called The Goal. Have them read The Goal, and then we discussed, because in Harvard you cannot teach in an Aristotelian way. If you want to teach in Harvard that 1 + 1 is 2, you have to bring a case that a manager thought 1 + 1 is 3, and he failed. And on the other hand, the manager thought it's 0, he failed, and then they came up with the conclusion that 1 + 1 is 2. And then I think it really changes the way we were thinking, and I think that Goldratt did a great job, and I hope that we all be able to continue his mission, his vision, and I think that the missing link is the connection with the university, because there is where people come and have the legitimate ability to have some knowledge. In continuation with Eli's story about the buffer management, the next step was that I wrote a paper with Eli, 2 papers, one on the DBR, the other was the buffer management. Yesterday I looked at the citation index. It was quoted over 200 times, each of these papers. And I think that we're not doing enough to have the theory of constraints being the leading managerial area, but that's another issue. Thank you.
Good. So